Was good.
Wow.
How we living?
Wow. What's you look different. It's the mustache?
Fresh cut, bro.
Is that
Fresh cut.
a Rode mic that you're like hooked up to
Extra.
Bluetooth?
Yeah, dude, I moved out of my house, right? So this is my improvised streaming setup
Wow, and you
for
still
the
found a
time
way to
being.
come on our stream?
Come on now, I got a little plant in here. This fucking trying to balance shit out, you know?
Yeah, that
Doing what
that
I can. Doing what I can.
that mustache is
How's everyone
speaking.
doing? We all poor or what?
I know that mustache is speaking old money to me, I'll tell you what. But no, dude, we're man, I think you, me, and DJT are like some of the last bulls standing, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, it's slim fucking pickings out here, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who I respect like highly, who are just like it looks like shit, and they aren't wrong. This is one of those really tricky places where people are like, so up or down, bro. Like, it's like this could very easily go either way, and I think the decision point is very soon. Last time I was on, I think we talked about, potential to revisit sub 100K. I would like that as an opportunity. Obviously, it's a lot more exciting to talk about revisiting 100K when we're at 110, 115. When we're there, everyone's kind of shitting bricks. So I get it. But yeah, dude, it's a little spicy right now. It's a little spicy right now.
Who, if you don't want to say names, you don't have to, but who do you like really respect that is fucking bearish right now? Publicly, maybe.
Oh, Don Alt. Don Alt is bearish.
As
I
fuck.
like Don Alt a lot.
He's bearish as
Yeah,
fuck.
he's super bearish. And rightfully so. A lot of these charts look super busted. More so like on the altcoin side, like Solana and ETH and things like that. But Bitcoin's kind of hanging on by a thread here. So yeah, him, Ben Cowan, very smart guy. He's quite bearish. Bob Lucas, super smart guy. He's 50-50.
Nice shout on Ben Cowan, by the way. That's like a nice pull.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's he's super solid, man. He knows what he's talking about, and we're at the last area that really should constitute a bounce, which is this 50 week moving average that everyone talks about. Like, listen, every bottom forms here until it doesn't. That's the problem with those things. One time it's gonna not bounce there, and then that was fucking it.
Does it scare you that like Scottie Pippen is looking at the 50 moving average and posting it? Like, does that scare you a bit?
I'm pretty convinced.
Serious.
I'm pretty convinced Scottie Pippen's not actually the one posting tweets on his account. But listen, it's not great. I'm just biased to the fact that it doesn't feel right that was the top, just timing wise, the way it happened. But everything's there in terms of fitting in the Q4 window, which is something I've talked about for a year plus. Like, we top in Q4, in my opinion. We went over 100K. The stock market blew up. Gold blew up. Like, all the things that you would want to happen in a bull run have happened. And to complain and be like, we didn't get Solana from $8 to 300. Bitcoin went up 600-700%. Like, we had multiple meme coins go to billions. Like, a lot of stuff happened. It just kind of feels like a little anticlimactic, I guess, because it's like since the April bottom, everything ripped, and then that second leg we just didn't participate in. So we had the Trump tariff bottom. Bitcoin went from 74 to 120, and then we basically went sideways since then, where stocks have ripped, gold has ripped, some crypto mining companies have ripped, and it's just like, oh, maybe we're lagging. And at some point, are we lagging or are we just weak? And, it's tough. But I'm going to be the biggest bull for my bags until I'm proven wrong based on the invalidations I have. And then at that point, there's nothing else you can do. Then it was, hey, we'll see you next time. We'll buy lower, hopefully.
I want to do some self-reflecting with you, Mayne. I was at dinner the other day with Malcolm and Tyke, which was fun. I don't think I've ever met a human in my life that was more bearish on the market than Tyke. Honestly, it was insane.
Smoked it.
It's almost disrespectful how bearish he was to the space. No, I'm kidding. Tyke's a great guy, but I was self-reflecting, and my rationale for being a bull over the last year, basically 6 months, has been it was that's exactly, it was anticlimactic. There wasn't a blow off the top. The market gods would never allow that to happen. And then I really sat back and thought about it, TraderMayne, and I thought to myself, I'm like, man, WIF went to 5 bill this cycle. Sol was $8 this cycle. GOAT went to $1.5 billion this cycle. AI16Z went to $3 billion this cycle. Donald J. Trump launched an official meme coin that went to $70 billion in 48 hours this cycle. And, you know, it was pretty climatic, all things considered. There wasn't the final beautiful, like, spectacle blow up at the top, but it was relatively climatic, all things considered. And I compared my there wasn't a blow off, this couldn't be the top thought process is very similar. Is like Alon has to pump this meme, or like Tolly has to make this coin go up, or CZ has to make Aster go up. And usually when you get into the has to happen, it doesn't has to anything. And it's actually a spot I don't like to play. So it's ironic that I hate that thesis, but then I've been using that thesis sort of as like a balls tingle, stay bullish for where I think the cycle is.
No, you're not wrong, bro. When the bull market's long in the tooth, the things that should make the market pump sometimes don't. Like, we had the rate cuts. We had the semi-good news on the Trump-China tariff battle. And like, it's like, you know, in an earlier time in this market, that would have ripped it. So it's not, it is unfortunate. And there's a lot of similarities, unfortunately, to how 2021 topped. It was kind of just this distributive structure at the highs that we're seeing now. It's very similar, same bear divs. So, you know, when there's things that it seems like even with good news, we haven't been able to pump. And then as soon as there's a sniff of bad news, downside price action in stocks, we eat shit. So it's not fun. But to me, just from a pure technical point of view, like this kind of area from 100K down to the yearly open, basically, which is 94K, like, and that 50 weekly moving average, to me, this is kind of the last stand for the bulls, also timing wise. So it's like, I'm willing to throw the dart here. And if I'm wrong, okay, I'm getting out at Bitcoin around, you know, mid 90s to 100K. And hopefully I rebuy at 70 or 60, you know, and maybe you miss. You got to remember, this went from 15K to 120K. If you get out at 95 or 100, that's not that bad. Like, you're missing the last 20% of a 700% move. That's not that bad. It's just if you bought yesterday, or not even yesterday, 4 days ago, you're shitting bricks right now. But like, objectively, like, Bitcoin's up a lot in the last few years. And so it's hard to kind of complain. I think it also just goes back to the fact that most people are like in alts, and Bitcoin's down 20% from all-time high. Altcoins are down 20% in the last 7 days.
What percent risk on are you?
So I have a kind of three-pronged portfolio. So I have cold storage crypto that's like, you know,
like Bitcoin,
like fucking getaway bag kind of stuff. And then I have active spot, right? So this is stuff that I am buying dips and trying to sell it higher. And then I have like my leverage trading portfolio. So my leverage trading portfolio, I am denominated in stablecoin, right? So I am just trading that for money. My spot portfolio, I still have pretty heavy amounts of Bitcoin. I'm 90% Bitcoin and maybe like 10% ETH Sol and some other dog shit. And then of that 100%, I still hold more than 50% of the spot that I had from here. So it's like, I've made a lot of money. I've realized a lot of money. But I'm still like, you know, I'm still willing to take the bet that there's another leg, and I'm also willing to cut this if I'm wrong, and it's like not the end of the world. Like, I've been buying this spot Bitcoin since 20K, 25K, 50K, 75K. I sold a bunch at 100, so it's not like my entry is 100 grand, and if I, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I went up, and then, you know, I end up selling there. It's not the end of the world.
Could you give me a verdict on this 4-year cycle thing? Like, are there really billions and billions of dollars that are trading, buying or selling based off the 4-year cycle? Like, is this a real thing that's happening?
So there's a lot of different interpretations of the 4-year cycle. There's people who quite literally look at it and say we went 4 years from bottom to bottom, top to top,
That's
and
the
it
Bob
seems to line up
Lucas
very
thought
accurately.
process, right?
There's the halvening idea where, okay, well, we have this X number of days after the halving. That's where the cycle tops. You can look at the presidential elections. The last 3 or 4 tops, 1 year after a new president was elected, which happens every 4 years, there is a top. You can look at a variety of different metrics and be like, okay, well, like Q4 every 4 years, it tops. It's just like, so there's all these, but there's, to me, there's 2 kind of schools of it. There's also people talk about, oh, the liquidity cycle, the business cycle. I learned this from Bob Lucas, but there's this market cycle theory. Think of it like Elliott Wave or TA. It's another form of analysis that breaks up the market into these 16, 8, 4-year cycles down to weekly and daily cycles. And really what it's good for is just timing when highs and lows should be forming in the market based on a given amount of time. So it's trying to take like, okay, if I'm doing TA, I think that the higher low will form here. Well, when might that actually happen? And using the chart, you can predict with relatively good accuracy when the highs and lows should be. And so that's the 4-year cycle that I use. And so when people are like, well, October 6th was 4 years already, it's over. That's not the 4-year cycle I'm referring to. The 4-year cycle I'm referring to, which is like market cycle theory, still has a window of the next few months, basically, for the market to top out. But if we don't, the flip side is if we don't make a new high here and we actually break below these old lows, it's a failed cycle is what they call it. And that likely means that we're going to enter a bearish trend, right? So that's part of my thesis for why I think we have one more leg, because we're due for a weekly low at the very least. And I think whether or not that weekly low sends us to new all-time highs, God willing, W's in the chat for all-time highs, please. I think it's at the very least, we're due for a significant bounce up to maybe as high as 117, 118. And then we'll see. Is it a lower high and we're cooked? Or is there, one more leg up and, maybe it's 130, 140, who fucking knows? I'm a little annoyed that like stocks are now expressing some bearishness. Like we did see the Elon stimmy get approved. So he's got $1 trillion now.
Right? To do what with?
To pump Tesla. So I don't know, but like we had some very ripe conditions over the last few weeks with stocks for Bitcoin to go up and it just fucking didn't. And so it makes my argument a little weaker.
What if we front ran the dump like April?
We're that have to game. This is similar. Like we're kind of just like pulling at like little bits of information, and again, at some point, like we're either lagging, front running.
Yeah.
We're not actually lockstep with equities anymore. We're no longer correlated, or it's just weak, and we've been getting distributed on, and it's over already. I mean, it's a possibility.
We've been getting distributed on.
Let's hope that we're fucking wrong, bro. Let's hope we're fucking wrong.
Who is Bob Lucas?
Bob Lucas is like an OG
is he
trader.
Unk? Is he your Unk? You call him Unk?
Yes. He's my Unk.
Whoa.
New York OG. I can intro you. He would be a good guy to have on the show, actually.
Really? I have noties on for him, but I don't even know who he is. I just like his tweets.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. He's a good guy to follow. I mean, he's been tracking. If you go on his YouTube, he'll release like a video every 3 months tracking this 4-year cycle. He's been doing it for Bitcoin for got to be a handful of years now, and it's been good. And people are liking to clown him because he sold some at 75K. It's like, dude, he bought it at like 5,000. like only on Twitter will you get clowned on for selling something at like a 15x multiple. I mean, you know all about this. You take profit on something, they're like, I can't believe he sold. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, am I not allowed to make money? Like, is that not what we're here for? It's
Facts.
The Sisyphus tweet. Like, I didn't come to this website for charitable purposes.
Bros, are you friends with Sisyphus?
I'm here to make money. I don't know Sisyphus. We haven't met. We almost met one time at some event, but I think I faded or something like that. But I've heard mixed things. I don't know.
He has me blocked, bro.
He has you blocked? Oh,
yeah.
no. Did you blame him for the Anubis DAO rugging or something? That seems to be the lore, where it's like he stole $60 million or something like that. I'm like, dude, I don't know.
He got more money than me.
Bro, I mean, where's Hayden Davis? Whatever happened to that guy?
I know. They've been
That to
they're
me is one of the biggest unknowns, like
I know,
how
I know.
that just disappeared and no one talks about it
See, if we
anymore.
go off the
It just goes
metric
to show
of
you can do whatever you want in
if we go off
crypto.
the metric of crime, it feels like relatively exhausted as well. I'm just bearish for the sake of the conversation
Yes.
today. I woke up today kind of bearish. Um, they're clowning.
Listen, I'm bullish crypto.
Yeah.
Like, as you know, bro, you're working with Polymarket, you're working with Phantom, like Kraken. I'm working with Breakout. Coinbase just bought Echo. Like, and what I see now that I'm involved with Kraken at like a deeper level, like what they're doing long term for the financial markets and crypto being kind of this backbone
Uh-huh.
for all of these different avenues for people to come in, interact with the markets in a variety of different ways. Like, it's unbelievably bullish long term. That's why I want to own Bitcoin long term. Sometimes we get stuck in the weeds where we're just like focused on the number on the screen, right? Like, you, I think, have graduated from this a little bit now because you have something you're doing in crypto that's not like, it doesn't matter about the price.
Uh-huh.
And that's one of the cool things about building is it's no longer just like, well, what's the price of the coin today? Am I having a good or bad day? Like, you should be waking up every day, as I know you do. Like, dude, my life's awesome. Like, I'm building something dope in an industry that is like on the cutting edge of tech and this intersection of technology and financial markets. Like, it's fucking sick. So as much as like we're bullish to or bearish, excuse me, this is very much like micro. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Macro, still big bulla,
What about Zcash? You traded it?
bro.
Yeah.
So my boy, Traj, who we're gonna have on stream,
Traj.
I got to talk to you about this off stream, but we'll have him on maybe in a month
Who is he?
when he's back from traveling. He's the guy I told you about the Storado who was just like he wanted another one in another color. He just bought a second one. Like, this guy's just like he's the real deal. Like, whale trader guy. Like, he's one of like the ones that were on the leaderboards at FTX. Like, took his fund here in Canada from 20 mil to 100 mil and like just like himself trading the entire port. Like, he's god tier trader, super smart guy. And he started an exchange, and he would be a good guy to talk to because he's just like, bro, he sent me so many of these layups. He messaged me Zcash at like 90. He's like, buy this. And by the time I saw the message, it was like 130. I'm like, like I missed it. Fuck it. And now I've just coped and seethed this entire rally. I own zero. I'm Zcash list. I'm sidelined.
Sidelined?
I'm fucking sidelined, bro. And I'm fucking Zcash furious about it. Like, I'm livid.
Someone said he's bullish, your homie.
Satraj?
Yeah. Satraj.
So he thinks that we have one more leg. He's in the same camp as me, that he thinks there's one more leg, and he's like, if we get down into the low 90s, he's like, I'll shove, even if it's for a bounce back to 110. He thinks it's a good trade. But he's an interesting guy to talk to, man. Like, he's told me he's getting bored with crypto. He doesn't think that the opportunities are the same, at least from a trading perspective, as they were in prior cycles. And I agree. I feel sorry for some of y'all who are like, this was your first experience in the markets, because I feel like it's been a lot harder to, just from a trading perspective. I'm not saying there hasn't been amazing trading opportunities. I mean, Zcash, Hype, Sol, Whiff, there's been lots. But to me, there's a lot more. As many big things have happened, there was so many more duds that if you just picked the wrong thing, oh, you got the wrong derivative of this coin, that one vamped it and that one went up. Like, the rotations were just so much faster. I legit think it's been harder for a lot of people this cycle. I'm not saying it hasn't been a good cycle, but I think if you tried to do what you did last cycle, this cycle, you did not do well.
Yeah. It definitely hasn't been turn your brain off and just hammer a basket. Like, that's was not the case. You know, the one thing I hate, Maine, is that with this one leg up thing, I feel like in order to make one leg up, everyone has to believe there's like three. And so if everyone agrees there's one last leg and we're done, it's like pretty doomer and gloom, isn't it?
It's hard to determine what everyone thinks. Like, my feed's quite bearish.
True.
And I have other people who's like, dude, everyone on my feed's calling up for another leg. I'm like, bro, I feel like but then I make a post about it, it gets like 1,000 likes. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not fucking alone. Um, I more generally like last cycle's high, everyone was calling for 100K. And we never got there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of figured this time, like, especially if we do have one more leg up, or who knows, even if we get close, like I want people calling for like a $250,000 Bitcoin. You know what I mean? I want the Ansem $1,000
Soul,
soul
yeah,
type
yeah.
of calls.
Yeah.
But it's something that's really sad over the last 2 cycles, really, not as much last one, but definitely this one, is like all-time high has been so anticlimactic. Every time we've made an all-time high, we basically pulled back immediately. Like we make an all-time high on Bitcoin and then it fucking nukes because everyone's like selling into it. Back in the day, bro, all-time high would happen. We would all get on Twitter and be like, let's fucking go. And everyone would be like smashing buy and it would reprice higher like instantly. Whereas like the last, I think almost every all-time high this cycle has had a pullback almost immediately after. And it's kind of like, what happened to us?
So I remember, I mean, I like wasn't conscious, but like 2021 ATH, Flood's in the chat. What's good, Flood? I was, okay, so I remember the first ATH like 66 or whatever, and then we pull back, and then we basically go to make a new ATH, and it just like it makes like a ATH by like $100, and it just like tops. What was going on then? The second double top, like what was going on there?
Is this back in 2021? You're
2021,
saying?
yeah. Like I remember thinking if we get back to ATH, I'm gonna be rich on my like Verosity coin, which never happened.
Yeah.
But like, what was happening then?
These seem to be like profit-taking opportunities now, where it used to be like all-time high was kind of this like, okay, it's such an easy trade. I mean, in stocks, like buying the all-time high break generally is like a pretty easy fucking strat. Where now it seems like all-time high lately on Bitcoin has just led to like, failure of that high and just like a pullback. So if I remember the second high in 2021, I think a lot of that was kind of like fake and gay. If I remember correctly, guys say that.
Yeah, you could say rip it again.
But I do think that it was like kind of fugazi. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking through the past with rose-colored glasses, And it's just like, dude, we got to take stock for like what you said earlier. All this amazing shit's happened, and we're just like kind of annoyed that it might be over temporarily.
Okay, how much attention do you spend on macro news, particularly what's going on in like this AI world?
I think it's important. And I think one of the things that's scary for crypto is like a lot of these AI companies like look like it looks like we're due for a cool down in tech stocks. Like Nvidia, Palantir, a lot of these companies look a little sketchy. Just the charts alone, like if we see this big rotation down in tech, it doesn't look so good for our coins. But like I pay attention to it enough, as much as I need to. Like I follow a lot of people who are super bullish on China. They're like big China bulls for EV, for AI, for tech out of China. And I think it's important. I mean, I do think the US and China are going to be like in some sort of cold trade war if they're not already. Because the U.S. is kind of on the decline. Like I think most people will admit to that. The U.S. is not what it was. I think what's a lot scarier on the macro in the U.S. is none of the stuff that's coming out of the government I think is real. Like about CPI, the inflation numbers, the job reports. They're
what the
editing
fuck?
them. I think it's a lot worse than they want to let on. And Trump has made it very clear that he looks at the stock market as a reflection of his success as president. And he's got midterms next year. Like if the stock market looks like shit, like I think he's going to do everything in his power, including they're not even releasing the CPI data or the inflation data anymore. And they're releasing the job numbers and then reducing them down by like millions after the fact. I think that on the macro side is kind of scary, kind of sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ironic a Canadian has a take on where the country that I live in, but I think that
well, aren't you moving to communist
New
New York now?
Should I not go? What is this a big deal? What do you think?
Well, I mean, the thread that you wrote on your taxes being high was hilarious.
All right, can I
You're
ask you
now
like an
moving to a
unquestion?
place
Can I ask you an
that's going to
unquestion?
be even worse.
Can I ask you an unquestion? Is like I have
Of
all these
course.
baddies on my IG, like mutual baddies that live in New York, and they're like on the IG story, like victory lapping the Zoran thing, and I'm trying to figure out like what do you do in that spot?
Yeah, so I think I saw a stat where it said 81% of women under the age of like
83,
35,
83.
yeah, voted for Zoran. I won't say anything that'll get me canceled about that. But I think that there's a lot of people, like a lot of these people who are voting for a guy like Zoran, I think are young people who are on their parents' dime. They're living in a very nice apartment that they could never afford on their own. They're tweeting from their fucking iPhone about how they love Zoran. And it's like, you know, like your dad who's paying for you to be here, he's the person that is getting screwed over by these types of policies. What I'll say is this, is you're young, dude, have fun, have a fucking blast. But when you're looking to be in a serious relationship with someone, looks, chemistry, all that stuff's super important, but you have to agree on like morals and your view of the world and how you eventually want to raise your children and what they're going to have, you know, what you're going to imprint upon them as your view of the world. But that's not something you need to worry about for years. I'm saying go to NYC, let it hang out with all the baddies on IG you want. But yes, like once you're ready to settle down and get married, you want your partner to have the same opinions and views as you. I think that's super important.
So you really had to like screen for that and make sure you were like aligned.
Yeah, like my wife's dad's a Fox News dad, right? So I had no issues there. He's been indoctrinating her from the beginning on my behalf, and then I came in and indoctrinated her even more. But we were already aligned on that when we met. You know, I couldn't imagine being with someone who's got like CNN parents and be like, oh my god, like we view the. That's what's so crazy to me about America is like the two different like they. I feel like we live in a different reality than these people. I really do. I'm like, how do you view this as like, yeah, but free buses is like, how do you think that's going to get paid for? Oh, we're just going to raise the top tax bracket on the top one. It's just 2%, just a little 2%. It's no big deal. It's like, bro, the price of real estate in Florida is about to go up.
Well, dude, they're gonna get it from the same place that fucking Sam Altman's gonna get his $1.4 trillion in commits that he doesn't have. Does that scare? Are you scared of that? Sam Altman 4 days ago.
I'm terrified of
4 days ago they. By the way, I am Okay, can I? You know, the last like couple weeks, I've gotten really big into this like physiognomy thing, and I think a lot of times you could look at someone and be like, that guy's a fucking lunatic. He has not passed the physiognomy test. Sam Altman scares me, bro. And you know, there was that clip. Bro. There was that clip from 5 days ago, whatever. The guy asks him, like, you know, you guys only have like $14 billion annually in revenue. How are you going to pay for these $1.4 trillion in commits? And he responds by saying, if you want to sell your OpenAI shares, I'm sure there's some buyers on the market that will buy your shares. And then 5 days later, he's in the news talking about, oh, the government's just going to backstop us. They're going to pay it. Like, how does that scare you? Oh, did I lose him? I was on a W rant. Are you still here?
My internet just go out?
No, you're here. You're here.
Of course.
No, you're here.
No, my internet just cut out.
No, you're here. You're here. Wait, let me text you. No.
What's just happening right now, bro?
No, you're good,
why
dude.
is the timing?
You're good.
Yeah, we good?
Yeah, you're good.
Bro,
You hear me?
I'm so glad you said this about physiognomy. I literally have been driving my wife nuts with this word because I've been using it nonstop. And I'm like, I'm telling you, look at this person. And I didn't use this, bro, when I used FTX. Like you look at Sam Bankman-Fried, like this guy looks like he's gonna steal my money, and he's sitting there eating a fucking carrot, telling me it's like effective altruism. It's like, oh my God, how did I let this guy bamboozle me? And I did this video on TikTok that like got like a bunch of views about this kid named, I think his name might also have been Sam. Yes, Sam Millsap. And he's 21 years old, and he like got, you know, he's one of those Miami coaches, but his job, he's not coaching you on e-com or Amazon or trading. He coaches coaches. So he coaches you on how to be a coach. And then it came out that like he, you know, missed payments on his Lambo that was like leased, and he had to like, it got repoed or whatever. And then like a bunch of his vendors were like, this guy owes me 60K. He's walking around like he's some coach's coach with the rollie on. I'm like, first of all, bro, at 22, you're not coaching anyone about anything. You don't know anything. You're 22. And then I look at him and I say, good looking guy, in shape. I'm like, if this guy's a personal trainer, I would be like, okay, bet. This guy's in good shape, probably was an athlete in high school. Like, I get it. But this guy giving me like life advice, and I'm trusting him with like financial, like giving him $10,000 to tell me about fucking life. It's like, bro, you're 22. And I did an entire video. Dude, I love the word. I totally agree with it. I look at Sam Altman. There's nothing behind the eyes.
Bro, there's nothing behind those eyes.
Yeah. It's like looking at a deer. Like there is nothing going on in there, and it's very scary. It's like Peter Thiel, bro. Like, why is he so sweaty all the time? Like, why is he looking so sweaty
Peter
and so
Thiel,
greasy? When they asked Sam Altman about the guy who got murdered, the whistleblower,
bro,
and he's like, I think it was Tucker.
It was Tucker.
Like his response to that is like, that's not a human response.
His response was, I've never been accused of murder on a podcast before. Yeah, I'm like, who says that?
Yeah.
Tucker goes,
someone probably.
Tucker goes, do you think it was a suicide? He says, I've never been accused of murder on a podcast. Tucker's like, well, I'm not accused of murder. You know who low-key clears the test is, maybe a hot take. I think Zuck clears.
Dude, Zuck, bro, he's doing jujitsu and like kickboxing with Alex Pereira. Like
Zuck clears.
Zuck clears. He has his moments where he's like a little robotic.
Yeah.
But I think he's come into his like his bit of his white boy. Like he's letting the fro go a little bit.
Yeah, he's in his like white boy summer shit. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. He found Chet Hanks on Instagram. He's like, okay, let's go. Like,
yeah. He's.
I fuck with Zuckerberg. I like Zuckerberg. I like the Google guys. I love the guy who's he did Oculus Rift and now he's Andrew.
Oh yeah. Palmer Luckey. He clears.
Yes. Like, bro, showing up in like cargo shorts. Like, I'm like, this guy.
No, he
should be
definitely clears.
Drones.
He's doing some weird shit with the defense. I don't know what's going on. They're playing fucking Call of Duty too much and shit, but he clears for sure.
Yes, bro. Exactly. No, but Sam Altman and I'm with Elon on this, where it's like AI is the future. It's this massive revolution. It's like, is this the guy we want ushering it in? Like, I personally not a big fan. But I do love using ChatGPT. So
that video of Sam Altman in like the white like Koenigsegg or whatever it was, you seen that?
Yeah, of course. The nonprofit, bro.
Dude, I mean, they got some weird. You know who clears that Ilya, like ex OpenAI Ilya clears. Yeah. But yeah, the Sam thing is rough. But man, it's scary to see him go out, make all these promises, and then be like, oh yeah, the government like has to backstop us. Like that's like has to happen. Like no, it doesn't. David Sachs came out today. I feel like David Sachs came out today and basically was like, yo, shut the fuck up. Let's do this in private. Is what he meant by what he said. But he publicly was like, no, it's not. Like, no, we're not.
No, I agree. It's funny. We're taught as kids, like, not to judge a book by its cover, right? Like, that's what physiognomy is. It's like, but like, humans have been evolved from day one to judge things based on their appearance. Like, the first thing I do when I look at a book is I look at its cover to be like, is this
you judge it, bro?
Like, back in the caveman days, like, you would see your friend eat like this red berry and die. Okay, that red berry is bad. It's poison. Like, the girl with the septum piercing and the blue hair and the tattoos on her hands, probably nuts. Like, this is just pattern recognition that we've been evolved like over millennia to have, and to like not use it now just totally doesn't make sense.
Man, I think people should be judging more books by their covers and should be taking first impressions more seriously. I think this is like a really good take.
100%.
David Sachs clears. Chamath does not clear.
I could see that.
Chamath scares me, bro. He scares me a little bit. You know? He scares me.
Weasel. He's got weasel physiognomy.
He scares me, bro.
I don't trust it. We gotta do a physiognomy tier list. We should do in crypto.
I don't know how that's gonna end, bro. I'm like scared.
I think I mean, it's not gonna end well, but I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
That would be a good stream. But okay, so the thing where I was gonna bring this is, you know, Plur Daddy is PLUR Daddy.
Do I know who? Yeah,
He's a
I
good
think so.
account. I like him,
Yeah.
and he has this tweet and says, "Let me get this straight. You see OpenAI calling for a federal backstop on the AI. Was it how do you say it? COPEX, which they will almost certainly receive given the
Yeah.
importance of the AI race to national security." And you get the conclusion that this is bearish for the AI trade. And I kind of like feel like, I don't know. Also, I think you're glitched. Your Wi-Fi kind of sucks. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'll wait for a second to see if you can.
I can hear you.
Okay, you can. And it's sort of like, I don't know. I feel like I got really bearish this morning. I went down a bunch of bearish rabbit holes, and I sort of accepted that, like, yeah, the U.S. kind of has like no choice but to fucking turn the printer on, fund this shit for a level of like national security, Cold War, China race, and they're just gonna crime shit. And so you should just be long until you're forced to not be long anymore, and then we figure out what to do after that. Like, I don't know. I'm like interested in the AI
I don't
thing
think
now.
that's a horrible take for. I don't think that that's a horrible take for the AI stuff, because the U.S., over the past several decades has outsourced everything that made the U.S. what it was, right? Was this manufacturing superpower coming out of the world wars, right? Where everything got built in America, and then they've outsourced everything. And now it's like, okay, well, what does the U.S. do? It's got to kind of, I agree. It's like they kind of have to go all in on this next thing and hope that they can dominate it and lead it. Because it is the future. So I don't disagree with that. I think being bullish on AI is probably pretty smart. I do think that there's a chance that we're in a bit of a bubble right now because none of this is real yet with OpenAI. But I mean, it's going to be a very crazy next 5 to 10 years, and I'm super excited to be, like switched on and paying attention.
How old were you in 2008?
Bro, 18.
Were you trading? No.
No, I was
Damn,
playing
you
fucking
were.
Halo and like smoking weed in like my buddy's basement. Like, what are you talking about trading?
You were a senior in
My
2008.
life was
It's
so
nuts.
simple. It was amazing.
Senior in 2008 is insane. Like, I don't know. This is like uncharted. This is just uncharted territory for me. Like, because I feel like everyone universally knows this shit is air. We're floating on air. And when I think about the Zoran thing in New York, like, bro, being a young person, being 23 and 2025 kind of sucks, bro. No, I have all these friends. No one can get a job. No one can afford anything. No one can buy groceries. You're never getting a house. Like, it's kind of like a brutal spot. And then you look and you're like, yeah, stock market's ATH. And you're like, how the fuck is stock market at ATH? Propped up on like 10 things. And so it's like uncharted territory knowing everything is air right now. But how do you play a market where everything is on air? It's weird.
So listen, man, I mean, I grew up in an era where like, I'm still part of that era. Like my generation, most of my friends who have like regular ass jobs and stuff, I post about this on my personal Instagram all the time. I lose hella followers.
Your IG's lit, by the way. I love your IG.
I talk about, I'm like, aren't you more mad at the government and the generation before us for basically selling us out? Like the stuff that our parents had, our grandparents had, we're the first generation, and I'm part of it. I'm at the opposite end of the spectrum of you, where like owning a home is no longer like a guarantee. The average age of home ownership is like 35, 40 years old in some instances. And like, I don't know the US stats as well as Canada, but Canada basically since 2015 has been in a decline. Year over year, GDP per capita is down. We've had no growth in production. Taxes have gone up. The deficit is insane. And it's like, they're just robbing you all these different ways, your freedoms, your rights, and your money through taxation. And I'm like, when are people going to stand up and get pissed? I really thought in Canada we would have voted conservative this last election based on the Liberals fucking the dog for the last 10 years. But no, America voted Trump, right? And, I think he's done some things that are great. But at the end of the day, he's still, I think a lot of these problems are so much bigger than something that can be fixed by one politician. And I do think it's sad. Like, bro, we're very lucky, you and I. Like, we're in an industry where we can make good money and stuff like that. I've done well. I'll be able to have more than one house if I want. I got multiple. I have a ski cabin. I don't give a fuck. I'm mad for my friends. My brother, who's a teacher, who I'm buying a house for, because he'll never be able to afford it on his own. To me, that's fucked up. And where we went wrong, I think there's a lot of things you can point at. And the problem is in society now, especially with people like Zoran and stuff, if you point these things out, they call you a piece of shit, basically, like for noticing patterns. Again, pattern recognition. It's like, well, damn, as soon as we start doing this, this happened. And it's like, well, you can't point that out. That's racist, homophobic, bigoted, sexist, whatever one they want to pick to call you. So I feel bad for young people for sure. But I also I have no doubts that your generation and people younger than you are going to find a way. Like smart people always do. I think it's the middle class that's going to suffer the most.
Yeah.
Like if you're switched on, you're smart, you're a grinder. Look at all these young guys. You had TJR on, guys like Brez Scale. Like these guys are your age, crushing. I wasn't doing that at that age, not even close. So like there's going to be ways to make money with AI on the internet that never existed before. That's awesome. I think it's the more kind of regular people who are like, I just want to go get this basic job. Like they're middle class. They want to be able to go on their vacation every year. They're the ones who are getting screwed the hardest, I think.
The white picket fence is dead, bro. It's either an RM and a pet in Miami or nothing, bro. Pen or nothing. I also think this is why the okay, go ahead. What are you about to say?
You know, like the Miami course seller guys, right? Like back in the day, inflation's affected everyone. And so these Miami course sellers, they used to be able to buy a Huracan, right? Like the baseline. And a Lambo Huracan is a sick fucking car. I don't care what anyone says. But because of course seller inflation, if you only have a Huracan, like you're not even shit in Miami and Dubai apparently anymore. Like now you need an Aventador. You need a fucking Koenigsegg. Like fucking like the inflation has affected everyone, and at some point, I think some of this stuff has to unwind.
Yeah, I think you're right. Also, dude, your Wi-Fi is so bad.
I'm sorry, so bro. Bad. It's okay. I think if I do this,
VPN on.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's good now. We'll see what happens.
I just switched to my phone.
Yeah, the course seller inflation is a real thing. I think this is why more people will just like flight to alternative places to play the game. They're coming to fucking trade internet assets. They're gonna come to crypto. They're gonna come to stocks, whatever it is. So I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's a weird. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic, and you know what's funny is I think
you should be.
This is the cycle that I feel like crypto tech has been validated as just superior financial rails amongst every vertical of the world. Basically, it's been validated as like this place is real and tangible, and it's just like going to infiltrate everything. But it didn't really like reflect price, maybe how people thought it was going to.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's just like there's been like Hyperliquid to me is like the perfect success story of something, so right? Like and something like Poly Markets and some of these massive companies that have been born and are now doing crazy big things. Like I completely agree. It's just that I think people get annoyed, you know, when the number doesn't go up because they feel like that's their way to participate in the good. They're like, oh, crypto's doing all this cool shit, but why aren't my tokens going up? And I think that that's going to become a much more common theme because the pump fundification of alts has just made it that rising tide that raises all ships. There's too many boats now. And so not everyone's going to get brought up at the same time. And I think like, why would you buy some random bundled scam coin that the average hold time for the dev wallet is 30 seconds when you can use Poly Markets and express your fucking optimism on something 1,000 different ways? That's way safer and way more, you know, and like legit and not as like sketchy. So I think the market for retail alts is going to be a lot different going forward than it has been in the past because there's so many different ways that you can be bullish on crypto without, you know, holding fucking random bullshit coins.
Okay, I have like one more question for you. Because I just got a Mando tweet. No, I have his note he's on. Shout out you, Mando. And it's this clip of him talking about how everyone knows how to enter a trade. No one knows how to exit. Can you give me some alpha on how you exit trade? So like, okay, I'll tell you my trade. So I bought unknown amount of Zcash at like 230 average. And I basically just been clipping 5% every leg. I sold 395, I sold 415, I sold 450, I sold 500, I sold 500 again. I sold like 520 last night before I went to bed, and I'm just selling like 5-10% every leg.
Oh my God, it's at 500. I'm gonna kill
No, it's at
myself.
5, it's at
In
5 in
Minecraft.
GTA. It's at 530 actually.
Oh my
Um
God,
yeah.
bro, that's
What do you do
gnarly.
with a bag like this? Like you just clip every leg? Like how do you approach selling?
Yes, like I mean, there's a few things. You can have like a price target in mind, whatever. But like, I think if you're up a lot, like realize some of the bags, start free rolling, get your initial out, get your 2x out, and clip as you go. I completely agree. I mean, this thing is parabolic at this point. Like if you look at it on the daily chart, like it's basically a straight line. The weekly is basically a straight line. It will roll over at some point, but it might go to 1,000 first. So you don't need to just full port exit the bag. So I'd be clipping out as you are, and then I would use something like the daily chart, and just as long as it's making higher lows, you can just hang in, right? You can use moving averages for this as well, but the daily chart's like a pretty good barometer for like the trend. And if you want to be even more aggressive, go to like the 4-hour chart. So like the 4-hour chart is still in a very clear uptrend. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. If it gets to a point where that 4-hour trend shifts, maybe you say, okay, the trend might be changing, clip a little more. If it continues up, great, you're still in. But then if the daily trend shifts, probably good chance that this thing's due for a larger correction at that point. But yeah, when you're in a runner like this, that's the best thing in my opinion, is take profits as you go and just kind of trail that stop up. So like looking at the chart right now, I think a very loose stop is below 400. I think a much more aggressive stop would be below like 450. Because this thing could come all the way back down to like the mid to low fours and then still just make another leg higher.
I just sold some as you were talking. 5%.
I mean, dude, the chart's nuts. And if your entry's like in the hundreds, like it's a 5-bagger and the rest of the market looks like shit, like make your money, bro.
So
That's
what
what
do
we're
you
here for.
okay, what do you take away for something like this? Like the rest of the market looks like shit. Every coin is down only. Bitcoin looks like dookie. Nvidia's down 10% today, and then there's just like one coin that's just like insane outperformance. Like do you take that as like this is an anomaly and oh my god, it's going to millions, or are you like getting bailed out and you're like take the fucking bailout package? Like how is this is this like unprecedented what's happening right now?
Not necessarily. There's always been stuff that pumps async the rest of the market. I think that this is just a very interesting situation in that like you have this crazy chart, but you also have this amazing narrative at the same time. Like, did you have Mert on recently?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, like I get it. Like it does make sense. Like Bitcoin, especially now, it's not even remotely close to what the promise was when the white paper was put out. This, peer-to-peer, like that's not what Bitcoin
I
is
saw you
for
quote tweet
anymore.
that Scott Besson tweet, I think.
Yeah, like Bitcoin is 100% like becoming digital gold in my mind. Like it's going to be something that I think it's not replicable. Like we're not going to have another Bitcoin. So I think if other altcoins falter and never like don't keep up price wise, I do think Bitcoin will continue to appreciate because you can't dead founder, locked coins, lost coins. The story is just it's one of one. So I think it's always going to have that value and that built-in scarcity. But in terms of like, yes, valuing privacy and what crypto and the way that the world is headed, like you want to go tinfoil hat, bro, digital IDs, central bank-backed digital currencies, like this stuff is coming. They're already talking about it in the governments. The UK is talking about it, Canada, US. Oh, we're just going to make your life easy and you'll have a
Crazy.
digital ID. It's like, you don't even make motherfuckers show ID to vote sometimes, but you're telling me my life's going to be easier if you make my ID digital? Oh, you didn't get the COVID vaccine? Well, fucking, we're going to turn your ability to travel off. Like, that to me was like the prepper for a lot of this. A lot of stores don't even accept cash anymore
Dude,
after
you
COVID.
can't
They're
even
like, oh,
use
we don't do
cash.
cash anymore. And it's like, I wonder why, because cash is untraceable largely, right? I can buy something for you cash. You don't know. Your waitress, you get tips in cash. The government doesn't need to know. So I think that narrative for Zcash is very powerful. And just the timing of like, hey, sometimes it's easy to just jump on a snowball that's already rolling downhill. It had the narrative, it had the huge breakout. Everyone's talking about it. But I find it hard to believe that the trade's still early. right? And I mean, a lot of people who are very bullish on Zcash also probably own a bunch of Zcash and, probably want to exit it at a higher price. I imagine at least some of them. Who knows? I don't know if this is $1,000 coin in the future, maybe. But I think this is just one of those kind of unicorn scenarios where all of these things, coalesced at the same time.
So perps are new to me, TraderMayne. I'm like a new perps trader. And this is the first, like, I've made some profitable perps trade. This is the first, like, really profitable perps trade. Only 2x, not much. But the concept of funding is new to me. And, shorts pay longs, longs pay shorts, depending on what there's more of. I've gotten paid 5,000 United States dollars to be long the greatest coin in the market. How ridiculous is that?
Yeah, I mean, that to me is a sign that the rally still might likely have more legs because people are like rage shorting.
It's
right?
crazy.
They're being like, well, it's got to top. It's got to top, right? It's got to top. So, I mean, the basics of funding for those who don't know, like it's perp price versus spot, right? So if the perp price is greater than the spot price, that's positive funding. Perp price less than the spot price, that's negative funding. So positive funding, longs pay shorts. And right now we're seeing negative funding on Zcash.
Shorts are paying. How's that possible?
This goes both ways, however, right? Because you have instances like what happened to, what's his name, Unipix, where he paid like 7 figures in funding to hold these perp longs for multiple months only to get licked on October 10th. And he would brag being like, and I'm not trying to take a shot at the man, but he'd be like, yeah, I've paid 7 figures in funding, but I don't care. Bonk's going to trillions. And it's like, maybe it is, but if you're so confident, no different than with Zcash, bro. If you're like a giga bull on Zcash and you're texting me and you're like, Maine, I'm like, Zcash is going to 10K. I'm in this crazy perps trade. I would tell you to take profit and buy spot. Exactly. So perps trade's awesome, but like funding, it can go the other way as well. And it can be a tool. A lot of people use it to analyze the market. Is funding positive or negative? But yeah, if you really believe in something long term, I think holding spot's a lot better. But bro, I mean, that's a banger of a trade. Good for you. I feel like you've caught for a lot of the flack you get, bro. You caught a lot of the good rotations, bro. You had the pump trade. You're on Zcash. You ripped GOAT. Like you ripped hype. I don't know, bro. I think there's a lot of haters out there. It's like, bro, he's not just podcasting here. He's not just streaming. Like, bro's trading a little bit. I've learned a little bit. I got to glaze the king glazer.
Yeah, I've learned from the best, man. I'm not gonna hold you, TraderMayne. I'm in here to talk to you all day. It's like at a certain point you got to hit something, right?
Bro, but you got to get in the arena. Like that's what you're doing. You're actually like not just like talking shit about stuff. You're like, let me fucking. I think that's one of the biggest disconnects people have on Twitter is they'll like chat all day. It's like, dude, buy it. Like, I posted my bull thesis and someone was like, bro, you gotta be an idiot to long here. I'm like, short then. Like, get in the game. I don't want to hear you from the sideline, bro.
This is the biggest. Too many people fucking using my life changed when I stopped using this shit as fucking social hour, and I'm like, let's put on some fucking risk. And I for the longest time,
why else are we here?
For the longest time, mate, I could never understand why do the traders not respect the content creators. And I'm like, because the content creators are Stephen A. Smith, and you are fucking LeBron James putting a squat on your back to score 40. You don't give a fuck about Stephen A. Smith.
Right now,
man.
I got sciatica, so I'm taking some time off. But I'll be back. I'll be back. We got Austin Reeves and Luca, the white boys, holding it up till the GOAT is back.
Hey, Luca might be the MVP this year. I don't even watch it.
Please.
You been watching?
Please. I can't have another year where it's like fucking. I mean, I like Shea earned it last year, even though Jokic's season was fucking insane.
Fatigue.
But Jokic has the same problem LeBron has, which is fatigue. They're just like, how many times can this guy win? LeBron should have like 8 MVP trophies. My GOAT. Yeah. My glorious king.
My glorious king. Okay, give us levels, invalidations, targets before you go.
So very simply, I think we're in this window where I want to see Bitcoin bottom, and that doesn't necessarily mean to new all-time highs, but have a significant rally by like Monday, Tuesday of next week. If you want to do a fun exercise, go and look at every bullish month that Bitcoin has had over the last 24 months. Count up how many times the low of the month in the bullish month has occurred within the first 10 days. It's a lot. So if we believe that November is going to be bullish, like I do, that's part of my premise, we want to see 2 things. I want to see the bottom form, ideally in and around November 10th at the latest, which is 4 days from now. And then I want to see us reclaim the monthly open, which is at 110,000. So if we're able to bounce within the next few days and get back above 110K, I think that really strengthens our arguments for the bulls. If that also happens, I think your bull market support is $98,000. If we get back above 110, 112, and we push up a little bit, and we put some time and space between that low, if we get back below 98K, I would cut my positioning, I would be out, and I would assume we're going back to like 75, because that's the next level on the monthly. Now, is the low in as of 2 days ago, or do we have one more final kind of fuckery down to around the yearly open, which is like 93, 94K? TBD. But I think by early to mid next week, I'm going to have a pretty good read on whether or not I think this thing's got legs. I want to see this bottom form within the next literally 4 or 5 days. I want to see us hold that moving average everyone's talking about. I want to see a big fat downside wick, and then I want to see us get above 110. If that fails to happen, we hold below 100 for a weekly close, something like that. I'm probably wrong, and I'll lose some money and then cry about it and move on.
Dude, you should make a Ping tweet, be like 11-13 buy.
Someone tweeted that like TraderMayne is the next Ping. I'm like, is this a fucking dunk or is this a fucking like a good thing? Because Ping will just say like 3 esoteric words and then like everyone's just like jerking off over it. And I'm like, bro, I wrote an essay. I made 4 YouTube videos. Like, what are we talking about here?
Ping's like buy with a picture of tea and everyone's like,
yeah, he's like, the monk drinks the tea on a Saturday. Very fortuitous. And then everyone's like, he fucking called it again, bro. I'm like, called what? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not trying to dunk on Ping. I think I think he's hilarious. And I think he's like, he's had some incredible calls. I just think it's like, people are obsessed with the God complex in crypto Twitter. Like oh my God, like this is the guy, GCR, you can never miss. It's like, bro, you can't put anyone up next to God. No one is perfect. Everyone gets shit wrong, bro.
You think GCR is the best trader to ever come through here or no?
I think he's one of them.
He's still waiting for that E to 10K, bro. He's still
Did
fucking...
you not have Brandon Hong on?
Yeah.
Bro, Brandon Hong is like God tier.
Really?
Like multi. Oh yeah. Like this guy's might be 9 figs at this point.
Really?
Or very close.
Okay,
yeah,
but
like,
people are so half and
guys.
half on him, by the way. People in my chat freak out. Half people are like, fuck this guy, and half people are like, I love he's the GOAT.
No, he's legit. He's legit. You can tell when you listen to someone talk whether or not they're legit. Like it's like you can kind of just tell he's got it. GCR is up there. Satraj is to me one of the greatest I've ever seen. And I think a lot of people who people think are really good traders would actually be surprised that like these people barely trade at all. Because you can make a lot of money in crypto without ever actually having to trade. As you know.
Oh, I know.
You got a following now, bro. People will throw money at you, man. It's like, man, why is this guy so bullish on this coin? It's like, you got a bag. That's why.
By the way, if you want to collab in the future on the physiognomy tier list, I have 4 categories. I've been working on it. Good guy, questionable, probably a scammer, and then dead animals in the basement.
Yes, bro. I'm so down to do this with you, and like that would be so funny. And do we do it only with crypto founders, or do we extend it to like?
Well, I think
general.
I think we go like the best crypto founders. Then we do like random polls, like Justin Bieber.
So like rapid fire, Pasternak. Dead animal in the basement, bro. That shouldn't have taken you so long.
I'm like scared
I
to do
believe you've been stealing from everybody. I believe that fucking Evelyn's getting another Birkin, bro. I believe your coin is fucking stupid.
Okay, Nick Whitea.
What was the second lowest one?
Probably scammer.
Probably scammer. This would be fun. I think we should do this for sure.
Dude, putting me on the spot by Pastic is brutal.
Yeah, that's brutal.
We should actually do it, by the way.
I'm
down. I'll hit you up. We'll talk offline. You're the GOAT, man.